This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have the tickets in your wallet first before you drive 2 hours to the big game. Seriously, you had one job. Now the closest you'll get to the 50-yard line is parking lot D. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
It feels like you can get your credit scores anywhere these days. Random websites, card statements, budgeting apps, heck, even your dog might bark out a few numbers. It's true. Credit Karma isn't the only place you can find them. But we actually do more with your scores to help you find your next financial opportunity. Like a more rewarding credit card, a game plan that helps you pay down debt faster, or a personal loan to help you save more on interest payments each month. Cha-ching! The possibilities are kinda endless. Download Intuit Credit Karma today to get started.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
The holiday season officially starts when you get that first card in the mail. Shutterfly makes it easy to add more meaning to the everyday with hundreds of holiday card designs that can be personalized in seconds with your favorite photos from this year. Select your greeting, customize the color, and even add little extras like personalized foil to make a holiday card that really shines. Enjoy 40% off with code SMILE40 at Shutterfly.com and send something meaningful this year. See site for more details.
Welcome back to Rams Up, your favorite LA Rams podcast. We are part of the Fans First Sports Network. You can follow us on our YouTube channel as well, at LA Rams Up. I'm your host, Mark. I'll be joined occasionally by my football gurus, Paul and Ian. Let's get to it. What is going on, Ram fans? You know what? I haven't felt this good about our team in, man, it's been quite a while. I don't think I felt this good about our team even after that win over the 49ers. Arrow is pointing up for our Los Angeles Rams. They just need to maintain this momentum that they have built over the last 2 weeks. Wins over the Raiders and Vikings. Now a mini bye before playing the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle, trying to get to 500 and possibly a piece of first place in the NFC West. Hopefully you caught our post-game reaction video and pod. Paul joined me for half an hour, and then Ian jumped on for another 20 minutes. He had to get home from the game dealing with traffic at SoFi. All three of us really excited about this team now. What a change in vibe over the course of just a few days, with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp back in the fold. And these trade rumors, what about these trade rumors? What a bunch of baloney. We know teams were reaching out to the Rams, as well they should, and McVay and Snead are going to take those phone calls. And then we heard that the Rams were on the phone calling other teams. It turns out that may have been hogwash. Man, reporters got to do better. Unless McVay is just playing with us, who knows? Maybe we'll never know. So this episode, I'm going to have my Rams Up straight up game picks at the end here. Recorded that a couple of days ago. Now you heard on the roundtable, I picked the Rams, so I'm taking a win for that already. One more game up on Pete Prisco, who picked the Vikings. This episode, before we get to those game picks, I'm going to go through a quick recap of the game, and then I'll get into my Fearsome Four big plays of the game, game balls, all that good stuff. Let's recap the action first. First 4 drives, offenses were unstoppable, so we're already 14-14 early in the second quarter. Looks like it's going to be a shootout. Didn't have a punt until the Vikings' third drive, and in fact, there was no additional scoring through the rest of the first half after those first 4 touchdowns. And that half ended with the Vikings pinned inside their 3. We'll talk about that in a bit. Very impactful play occurred right before the half. Second half, the Rams' first drive ended in the only turnover of the game, Stafford overthrowing to Marcus Robinson, so the Vikings get the ball at their own 27. Their turnover wasn't that damaging, really, but the fact that Robinson was open and the Rams had a chance to extend that drive and maybe add some more points was a bit of a bummer. So the Vikings have the ball and they add a field goal. And it could have been worse. That was the drive where they had that big pass to Justin Jefferson, the incredible catch, 27 yards down to the Rams 4. But the defense holds. So the Vikings have just a 3-point lead, 17-14. And this is where the Rams took their first lead of the game, 21-17, on that 25-yard pass to DeMarcus Robinson. The big plays on that drive were an 18-yard reception by Tutu Atwell and a 19-yard pickup Stafford to Puka on 2nd and 15. Colby Parkinson also had a first down pickup early in that drive. So the Rams lead 21-17 into the fourth quarter now, and the Vikings add another field goal. By this point, the Rams D is starting to take over this game. That may be an overstatement, but if you watch that game, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. Rams defense starting to win at the line of scrimmage, throttling the Vikings running game and getting pressure on Sam Darnold. So it's 21-20 midway through the fourth quarter. The Rams answer with another TD drive, and it's DeMarcus Robinson again. This is the drive where Kyren Williams converted that 4th and inches. That was the right call, Sean McVay. I would not have been happy with running Joshua Carty out there. Rams up 28-20. Rams also benefited from a legitimate pass interference on Cooper Kupp on that drive. So the Vikings had 2 more drives. It really came down to that last one, Ethan Evans pinning them deep once again, and then Byron Young essentially ends the game with a safety and got away with a face mask. Yes, he did. Hey, refs missed calls. They missed several others during this game. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Hey, let's get into my Fearsome Four big plays of the game. I'm going to focus on the 4 plays that went the Rams' way, and I actually have a 5th one I'm going to include as well, an overlooked play that was very significant. In chronological order here, Fearsome big play number 1, late in the first quarter, the Vikings are already up 14-7. The Rams are facing a 3rd down, and after an incompletion, the Rams, who have shown zero ability to stop the Vikings at this point, are going to have to punt it back to them. But defensive holding is called on that 3rd down play, a phantom holding in my opinion, and the Rams keep the ball and capitalize, scoring their 2nd touchdown and tying the score. Fearsome big play number 2 was that second to last play of the first half, the injury to the Vikings left tackle Darisaw, and he is indeed out for the year. Now, I can see the logic maybe in handing the ball off in that situation. Maybe you get a big play. Don't have to worry about a safety, I guess, if you hand it off. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me, though. I would have taken a knee. There was room to do so, but they hand it off, and Darisaw goes down with an injury. And after that, it was a little bit lights out on Darnold and his ability to stand in the pocket and find receivers. Byron Young, Michael Hoyt, and Jared Verse brought it after that injury. Fearsome big play number 3 in the fourth quarter, Rams up 21-17, and the Vikings are driving 3rd and 4 from the Rams 17. Darnold avoids the rush and throws a short toss to Jalen Naylor. Now, I'm watching this play unfold, and I'm thinking it's a first down, maybe a TD, but it's a bit of an awkward throw and catch for Naylor, and he can't secure it, and the Vikings settle for a field goal to make it 21-17 instead of likely taking the lead there. Fearsome big play number 4, 4th and inches, the Rams convert, and that facilitated the Rams' final TD to go up 28-20 at that point. Now, the 5th big play was really overlooked, and I had forgotten about it until my special assistant brought it to my attention. After that big pass to Justin Jefferson down to the Rams 4, They're set up with a first down there, and they rush to the line of scrimmage thinking the Rams are going to challenge it. And if the Rams had challenged it, the play would have stood. But they run up to the line of scrimmage, hands it off to Aaron Jones, and he's tackled for a 4-yard loss, setting up a 2nd and goal from the 8, and the Rams held 1st and goal from the 4. I'm thinking they're going to score, take their time, run some plays. But 2nd and 8, an entirely different deal. A low-key mistake as far as game management from the Vikings' perspective, in my opinion. Final stats of note for that game: Stafford finished 25 for 34, 279 yards and 4 TDs, had the 1 interception. Kyren Williams averaged 4.2 yards per carry, 23 carries for 97 yards, had the receiving touchdown. Blake Corum, I think this guy is going to bust loose one game, 4 carries for 9 yards. 9 different Rams had receptions, and this is a big change from what we've seen in the past. Nakua, Kupp, Robinson, Kyren Williams, Tutu Atwell, Hunter Long, Colby Parkinson, Blake Corum, and Tyler Johnson all had receptions. Yardage-wise, it was Nakua with 106 yards, of 15.1 average. DeMarcus, 2 touchdowns on just 3 targets. And it's nice to see Hunter Long continue to contribute. He had 1 catch for 18 yards. Interestingly, Kobe Durant and Darius Williams led the way with solo tackles, 5 apiece. Don't see that from the secondary very often. That's probably a result of this cheetah defense that they've been running. I'll see what Ian and Paul have to say about that after watching the film. Quentin Lake came into the game as the Rams' leading tackler. He had 1 tackle and 1 assist, so a little bit of a quiet night for him. On the Viking side, big night for Justin Jefferson, 8 catches for 115 yards. Rams did a good job checking Aaron Jones, 3.1 average, 19 carries for 58 yards. And the Rams led in just about in every statistical category except for penalties. Vikings had 9 for 50 yards, and the Rams did have 5 first downs via Viking penalty. Let's get into my rookie watch real quick. The Rams had 10 rookies that contributed to this win. I might be missing one, but that's what I came up with. Jared Verse and Braden Fisk were big contributors on the defense up front. Blake Corum had his moments on offense, had a nice little swing pass reception. Cam Kinchins came in briefly for Cameron Curl. Bo Limmer, he's the real deal. Man, when Steve Avila comes back, Rams' offensive line is going to go to another level, I think. Joshua Carty, 4 for 4 on extra points. Justin Dedich at left guard actually held his own, a little bit undersized, but he was not a liability in this game. Omar Spates was in the rotation at inside linebacker along with Jake Hummel, and then the 2 defensive backs, Jalen McCullough and Josh Wallace. Now, Jordan Whittington would have been the 11th, but he could not go. So, handing out game balls in this effort, man, can we just give everybody a game ball? The entire offensive line, especially Dedich and Limmer, just because they are stepping up as rookies and contributing. I think the entire offensive line played really well, actually had an excellent game. So let's just give a game ball to the entire offensive line, just like Sean McVay did. At quarterback, Matthew Stafford, 4 touchdown passes. I think he had 2 errant passes all night long. The wide receivers, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, DeMarcus Robinson, yeah, they got it done. Tight ends were okay, had a couple of key catches. Davis Allen really struggled blocking that one play. It was pretty bad. The interior defensive line holding up as best as they have all year against the run, and our edge rushers started to bring pressure throughout the game. Inside linebackers, I'm going to reserve judgment on them. Omar Spates and Jake Hummel, we have some film analysis to do. And then the secondary struggled at first, and that may have been as much a product of the Rams failing to put any kind of pressure on Sam Darnold. But in the second half, they were spot on. And as I already mentioned, Durant and Darius Williams leading the team in solo tackles. And by the way, this defense as a whole has scored in 3 straight games. Jalen McCullough's pick 6, Cameron Curl's scoop and score, and now Byron Young's safety. And special teams, Ethan Evans might have had his best game as a pro. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Michael Hoyt and his situational awareness. Got to love that guy. The home run and the LA sign the night before the World Series between the Dodgers and Yankees starts. And remember, he was the one that did the LA sign when the Rams closed out that win in Santa Clara last year. Gotta love that guy. He knows what's going on. And you know who that was playing quarterback the last time Hoyt flashed that sign? You got it, Sam Darnold. And a last shout out to the coaching staff. Sean McVay got it done, came with a really good game plan. 12 personnel, 13 personnel, got a lot of guys involved in the offense. It was really a team effort. He had these guys ready to play. And I think maybe we're starting to warm up to Chris Shula just a little bit as our defensive coordinator. Well, that'll about wrap it up as far as the Rams-Vikings. Back in a second with my Week 8 Rams Up Straight Up game picks.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
At New Balance, we believe if you run, you're a runner. However you choose to do it. Because when you're not worried about doing things the right way, you're free to discover your way. And that's what running's all about. Run your way at newbalance.com/running.
With Uber Reserve, good things come to those who plan ahead. Family vacay? Reserve your ride as soon as you book your flights. To all the planners, now you can reserve your Uber ride up to 90 days in advance. See Uber app for details.
Hey, what's going on, Ram fans? Back with my Rams Up Straight Up picks for Week 8. And I recorded this prior to the Rams-Vikings game. I did, for the record, pick the Rams in that game. Let's look at how last week, and well, I always like to talk about the previous week. I'll be talking about the previous week forever, Week 6, as you all know by now. And I will keep reminding you, I went 14-0. This week, this past week, still pretty good, 10-5. Pete went 8-7. So we disagreed on 4 games, and the Broncos, Ravens, and Eagles won as I predicted. And the Packers beat the Texans as he predicted. I took the Texans in that one. So, be honest with you, not a good week for Pete if you consider that, you know, those two of those teams that he picked, all three of them, the Saints, Bucks, and Giants, all kind of got torched. Whereas the one I got wrong, it was a 2-point road loss for the Texans. So overall now, I am 63-44 on the year. And Pete is 58-49, a 5-game lead. And, you know, there was a 2-week stretch there where nobody was picking very well. And I think the league's kind of stabilized and we're all doing a little bit better at this point. So what do I have for Week 8? I'm not going to talk about the Rams-Vikings. That's already behind us. The first game up, Ravens at the Browns. Browns 9-point underdogs. Deshaun Watson is out, of course, so they'll be rolling with, well, if he's healthy, ex-UCLA quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson. If he can't go, it'll be Jameis Winston. This is a battle of old Cleveland versus new Cleveland. I like it to think of it that way. Since 1999, when the Ravens came into existence. They have pretty much dominated, 36 wins, 14 losses, but the Browns have won 3 of the last 5. Ravens come in 5-2, the Browns 1-6, and I don't know if there's a franchise hurting more than the Browns. You know, that Watson contract just hanging over their heads, and now 9 points is a lot considering the Browns have a good defense, but I doubt. And actually, the Browns could move the ball on the Ravens. Ravens defense has just been okay, but the Ravens are going to win this game. I wouldn't touch that point spread though. Titans at the Lions. Lions 11.5 point favorites at home. Opposite records: Lions 5-1, Titans 1-5. Will Levis will be back at quarterback after he was banged up the previous week. They started Mason Rudolph, and they're going to go back to Levis. And Titans a very good defensive team. The Lions, this could be a trap game for them a little bit. They will win this game. That 11.5 point spread, though, that's a lot of points. If I was going to wager on that, I'd probably take the Titans in the points. Colts +6 at the Texans. And, Colts a team that we all tend to forget, at least I do. They're 4-3, the Texans 5-2. This is a really big game. And, still no Jonathan Taylor from what I can see. Considering that the Colts have been without their starting quarterback for a bit and without Jonathan Taylor for a while, they got to be happy that they're 4-3 with a chance to move into a tie for first place if they can find a way to beat the Texans in Houston. But I will take the Texans in this one. Might take the points, though. Packers at the Jags. Jags +4.5. The up and down Jags. I've been underestimating the Packers all year. I won't do it this week. I'll take the Packers to win that. I think that'll be a close game, though, and would not be surprised if the Jags pulled off the home win. Cardinals at the Dolphins. Dolphins are 3-point favorites. They're running Tyler Huntley out at quarterback there. Cardinals come in 3-4. The Dolphins a disappointing 2-4, and it's all about not having a quarterback right. And I thought the Cardinals might be favored in this game, and when I see things swing a different way than I expect, I go back and look at the history between these two teams. The Cardinals flying to the East Coast, and sure enough, the Dolphins lead the series 10 wins, 3 losses. The Cardinals are 1-5 in Miami. And given that information, what am I going to do? I'm going to take the Cardinals. I should be rooting against them. I will be rooting against them. But Cardinals are going to win this one. But I don't know if I feel that strongly about it. But that's the way I'm going. The Jets at the Pats. The Jets are 7-point favorites. They got Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. The Patriots are going to play them tough, though. Maybe Ramondre Stevenson will be back to 100%. But I think the Jets will win this in a close game. That is one game I think I'd surely take the 7 points. Falcons at the Bucks. Bucks are 2.5-point underdogs, and it probably would have been different if not for the injuries, especially to Chris Godwin. The Bucks, man, they just got thrashed. It looked like they were, when a team jumps out to a 10-0 lead really quickly, sometimes sometimes that's not a good thing. That's how it works out sometimes, and it sure worked out that way with the Ravens and Bucks. And both teams come in, the Falcons are 3-0 in the division right now. So if they win this one, and they already beat the Bucks once a couple weeks ago in a really close game, if they win this one, they're really in the driver's seat. Falcons come in good shape, but played so poorly against Seattle. Just got chewed up. But I will take the Falcons. Both teams 4-3, but the Falcons undefeated in the division. This is a really, I wouldn't say the Bucks have to win this game, but if they lose this one and they go down to 0-2 head-to-head with the Falcons, that's not a good thing. Eagles at the Bengals. Bengals 2.5-point favorites. Bengals lead the series 9 wins, 3 losses, 2 ties. Last 5 games, Bengals have won 3 of them, and 2 of them were overtime ties. So you'd think maybe it's going to be a close game. I'm taking the Bengals in this one. These are 2 teams that, I don't know, man, just don't have a lot of faith in either of them. 2 good teams, but just don't have the confidence that either one of these are going to make a strong playoff run, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens. I'm taking the Bengals in that one. Saints at the Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Chargers 7.5 point favorites. They've played pretty evenly over the years. Saints have won the last 4 though, but they are so banged up. So we think about how the injuries the Rams have dealt with. Saints, they've dealt with a lot more actually. Started out so good, 2-0, thrashed the Cowboys. Remember that? Seems like months ago now. Chargers are going to win this. Bills at the Seahawks. Seahawks +3. So the Bills are favored, and this will be a fun game. Geno Smith playing like he did a couple years ago, completing 68.5% of his passes. The Bills have been very steady. Had that tough loss to the Texans. Bills are clearly the better team, but in Seattle, man, we clearly rooting for the Bills here. I'm picking the Bills, but I don't have a good feeling about this one. Seahawks, sometimes just funny things happen with them, especially at home. Bears at the Commanders. Bears are 2.5 point favorites, and these are 2 historic franchises, played pretty even over the years. Washington leading 27 wins, 25 losses, 1 tie. Washington has won 8 of the last 10. Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels doesn't get much better than that. This is going to be maybe must-see TV. A lot of people are going to say the Bears have the better defense. Well, they do have the better defense. Commanders have struggled on that side. Right now, I think Jaden Daniels is the better quarterback. I don't know what's going to happen in this game, but I'm taking the home team Commanders to pull a mild upset. Panthers at Broncos. Broncos -9. It's going to be an ugly game. The Broncos are going to win. Chiefs at the Raiders. Raiders +10. Man, they are just decimated. They've got to start planning for next year or maybe even beyond at this point. They have no quarterback. I think there's going to be a coaching change after this year. They have a lot of work to do, and Chiefs are going to win this one. Cowboys at the 49ers. 49ers are 4.5 point favorites. I don't know if Micah Parsons is going to play. There are suggestions he could. On the 49ers side, Debo could be out. George Kittle nursing a foot injury. We saw what happened to Brandon Ayuk. He's out for the season. CMC hasn't played. Hey, what's going to happen in this one? You would think the 49ers are going to still be able to put some points up on a dinged up Cowboy defense. We saw what the Lions did to them. But this game, I think you can throw out all the predictions and, hey, let's just see what happens. I have no clue, but I'm going to go with my heart and take the Cowboys. Probably unlikely, but, if you look at it this way, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, that's probably the one thing you can hang your hat on either one of these teams for sure. Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Neither defense has played especially well. Brock Purdy, without his big targets, without his main guys out there, really struggled in the second half last week, 3 interceptions. So where do you go? I'm going to go with Dak and CeeDee. In the final game, Giants at the Steelers. Steelers 6.5 point favorites. This is a game that, I don't know, man, when they scheduled this, I don't know what they were thinking. 2 teams with really great fan bases, but doesn't appeal to me. I might not be watching. And maybe, come to think of it, maybe they schedule games like this because they know there's probably going to be a World Series game that night, and there should be. Dodgers opening Friday and Saturday at home, and then they'll switch to New York on Monday night. Giants at the Steelers Monday night. Dodgers, Yankees as well. Maybe the NFL was onto something here, but I'll be watching the Dodgers, Yankees for sure. Not interested in that game. So there you have it. Don't have Pete's picks yet, But I have a feeling we're going to disagree on quite a few. There's probably 6 or 7 games here that I was on the fence on, and I'm probably going to be going against the grain, certainly going against Pete. Pete likes to pick the outlandish upsets even more than I do. So we'll see what he comes up with. That's it. Week 8 Rams Up Straight Up picks out here from Rams Up. That's going to do it for this episode. Remember, you can reach us at ramsuppodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget about our YouTube channel. Our handle is at laramsup.com. Till next time, keep the horns up, stay safe, and have fun out there.